Hey guys, welcome to my first video vlog about spice and whatever else is on my mind in the morning when I do these things. Spice in this context is any herbal mixture sold as incense or marijuana alternative. It is easily accessible to any person in the United States that is 18 years or older at pretty much any tobacco store that may have other type of smoking apparatuses such as hookahs and various other things. There are currently dozens of brands. And they also tend to have different flavors and mixes and potencies too. What is spice? Good question. Spice is actually a mixture of herbs that are actually quite okay to smoke and done so and ingested in various other ways around the world. Quite often you'll find various things like, for example, Dahmania and Blue Lotus. It is sprayed with a synthetic cannabinoid, which means it is fake pot, really. But better than fake pot, it's fake pot that kind of does a good job. But again, it's legal and unregulated, so it's solely up to the person who is an adult to make the decision of partaking in it. They don't have to worry about any legal consequences of it. The other current trend actually is Salvia divinorum, which is not quite my style. It is a psychedelic and it does produce hallucinogenic effects, but it's expensive, it doesn't last very long, and it really just isn't something that I would recommend maybe more than once. I had all the bad side effects to it, so not my type of crack. Nothing long term, but just not my thing. I don't want to get into drug policy here because my advocation of drugs is quite clear. I do believe that people have the right to experiment with drugs in various ways. I don't think that children, minors, anybody under 18 should be partaking in this type of activity. But I think it's very crucial to our culture, to humanity, and just to freedom in general. I'm not saying you should go out and get high just for the fun of it, but if you have the ability to sit there and to contemplate and to feel your body and your mind and your spirit and just sit there and think about life under a different train of thought or form of existence in your mind, it's interesting. It's a good thing, I believe. Of course, not everybody does. I don't think that the responsible drug use includes those, again, who are under 18, mentally disturbed, spiritually weak, or are inclined to addictive behavior. Currently, spice's popularity grows by the day, and while they have some experts who speak up and about it, the rate of consumption with this product, shows that there are no short-term ill effects. As for the long-term, I can't tell you. If it's anything like cannabis, there isn't that many long-term issues with cannabis smokers. Of course, there are some here and there, and everybody's different. Of course, you also might tend to get a smoker's cough, especially if you smoke cigarettes too. That is possible. But other than that, I can't see any long-term effects. But if you are a pothead slacker, just remember my spiel about being spiritually weak and having an addictive personality. My favorite mix at this time is Devious, which comes in several flavors, my favorite being blueberry. You can purchase a gram for about $15 in San Clemente, where I go to do biz, or 3 grams for around $40, give or take. There's also Cloud 10, which I love too, but it's about $25 a gram in most places. And there's also Spike, which has Spike, Silver, Gold, Platinum, blah, blah, blah. There's 4 levels. I tried Spike Silver. You can get that for about $14 at the same place. You can smoke spikes virtually any way you would smoke tobacco or anything else, pipes, bubblers, papers, hookahs, what not have you. For instance, if I'm out and about, I'll just kind of make a half tobacco and half spice cigarette and go about my day. Okay, so what does spice look like? Good question. Different mixes look differently, actually. Here is Devious. Let me just go ahead and show you 1 second here. So it's not like something else people might smoke. It's leafy and that type of thing. It does create a resin, which you can kind of see here. It's kind of hard to use, but it does still have potency, and if you collect enough of it, it can be used for various things. So That is what Spice looks like. Now, on to my thoughts. I've been researching news, facts, and media to help support my stance on gun laws. As an anarchist, I am by nature a pacifist. But on the flip side, I believe it is my duty and moral obligation to own a gun and protect myself and my family. I feel everyone should own a gun, and every child should learn about gun laws and safety and respect in school. Now, a lot of you might be saying right now, no way, guns are symbolic of violence and as such should not be given to your average citizen. I don't know what that just was, but I would have to politely disagree with you. Owning a firearm and carrying it on your person, either concealed or openly, is not about appearing as a threat. Rather, you appear as a confident and competent deterrent for crime. Of course there's police and policia and MPs and all that stuff. And they have lots of guns and lots of experience in using them. But in the real world, the police don't always arrive at the best speed to alleviate tricky situations. So while I would love to live in a world where no one had to take the sound responsibility of personal firearm ownership, it's just not practical. Especially in these turbulent times fraught with economic issues and mounting tension between political sides. Anarchy is atypically slandered as an end result of total meltdown of social political power, sending all the once law-abiding citizens into a rousing, panicked state whereupon rioting and violence breakouts. Obviously, you've seen a lot of violence and rioting in troubled times. Is it human nature? Perhaps. But if that's the case, then the socialistic democracy you covet so much right now makes no difference in terms of security in that regard. So, own guns, protect yourself and your family, and do your best to live and love life. Anarchy doesn't deny the idea of laws or common ground between people. We are not at all opposed to a structured society. What we are opposed to is the idea that one group of people can be elevated above the rest of the population in terms of political power and civic responsibility. We question the moral and ethical values of governance. I mean, is it your right to tell me I cannot marry a man, have an abortion, ingest certain substances, all the while having to pay taxes? Or would it be economically more cheaper and much morally sound to limit government to its core duties and remember that, hey, political punk, I'm paying your salary, and you're supposed to do what I say and represent our best interests and not the interests of yourself and your political party. I feel that the only way to get rid of any type of corruption in government is to simply do away with government. Many sectors of government activity can be replicated, duplicated, and in fact be better than their current socialistic counterparts. The less cynic of us believe that the heart of man isn't as black as it seems, but we're also realists and know that governments are nothing more than sanctioned organized oppression, and often really good for global crime. But that's another story. All you gotta do is follow the money. So again, take a moment, close your eyes, tell yourself how awesome you are. Then turn to or call a loved one and tell them how much of a beautiful impact they made on your life. But then let them know in no uncertain terms you will not hesitate to blow their goddamn head off in case of a zombie apocalypse. This has been, until our next intersection in space-time, this has been Lexi in Lightspeed. My sign-off didn't go so well, so I figured I'd do it again. I was going to put a witty comment or something, but I suck, what can I say? So until our next intersection in space-time, this has been Lexi in Lightspeed. My sign-off got cut short. I was going to say something really funny, sarcastic, or witty, but I suck. So, until our next intersection in space-time, this has been Lexi in Lightspeed.